Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, Ken, thanks a lot, and thank you for tuning into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Rich Walsh will be joined by Andrew Fillipponi in a matter of moments, and we're taking your phone calls tonight on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. And obviously, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Steelers, Pony. The first thing I want to talk about is this quarterback situation. C.J. Stroud and Kenny Pickett. Who would you rather have right now?
Oh, no. You're really going to do this to me, Richie?
Right off the bat, I
want to
get into it.
Pick here?
I want to get into it right off the bat because, we're just looking at statistics and we're looking at future. One year off, right? We know Kenny Pickett was drafted there. So you tell me.
Well, yeah, before the season started, I would have scoffed. I would have laughed. I would have mocked the question. Are you kidding me? C.J. Stroud over Kenny Pickett. But, hey, Stroud has been, I think, one of the bigger stories in the NFL. He broke a record last week in Jacksonville, the most pass attempts to start a career without an interception. He broke Warren Moon's record, and Warren Moon had to go to the CFL before the NFL. So he wasn't in that way a true rookie. He was older. And so for this guy, they played from behind in a lot of games, so there's a lot of garbage stats. I get that. But to still not make a mistake and throw an interception, Richie, I watched him against Jacksonville, and I saw great composure. And I saw a guy who trusted his eyes, believed in the plays he was making, no hesitation. So right this very second, I'd probably say Stroud, but I hate myself for doing it. How about you?
I'm going to go with Stroud, too. Right now, I want to say Pickett, but, Stroud was drafted higher, obviously. He was higher ranked coming out. Everyone wanted him. He had the upside that everyone was talking about. And, it's hard not to take a guy like both guys are young. You can build around both guys, but I think
Stroud's a lot younger, Richie. Stroud's 21 and Kenny's 25.
Yeah,
that's a big difference.
You're right. It's a huge difference. And, I really do. Look, I know you're on the same page as me, but obviously the Matt Canada offense is hurting someone like Kenny Pickett. He would be much better in a different situation. Say San Francisco drafted him or someone else like that. I think we'd see better numbers from Pickett right now.
Well, the offensive coordinator in Houston, where'd he come from? San Francisco. Now, he was actually at Pro Football Focus before that, and then we know how many Steelers fans would they would not allow a Pro Football Focus man to work at the Steelers because of the way those guys ding T.J. Watt each week. But
which is ridiculous. Which is ridiculous.
I know, it really is. I know.
But
I know it is. I got into it a little bit with somebody. No, I know. I got into a little bit today with one of our buddies from PFF, Steve Palazzolo. But look, I think Stroud's been put in a better situation, which usually he had better wide receivers at Ohio State than he does with the Houston Texans, and his offensive line is in tatters. We complain about our line. He's got Kendrick Green blocking for him, Richie, and they're down to a third-string left tackle because Laramie Tunsil is injured right now. Remember, him had that gas mask on draft night. But, Matt Canada, I thought, called a much better game against the Raiders than he did the two previous games. But you still see moronic play calls in there, like that handoff to Connor Hayward on 3rd and 1 at the beginning of the game. For what they have, for the personnel they have, they should be much better than what they are. And I think a lot of that does come back to play calling. I do think the offensive line is underachieved, which I don't understand why then, Richie, we're still waiting for Broderick Jones. Can you explain that to me? You're around this team. Why is it that Broderick Jones can't get that job over Dan Moore right now, who struggled in the first 3 games?
Or Chooks, and potentially we might see Jones this week, depending on Chooks' health. The offensive line for the Steelers was a little banged up. James Daniels was in street clothes today. He didn't practice. So we're going to see tomorrow who practices and who doesn't. Chooks was a full go today but limited yesterday. So that's going to be something to pay attention to this week because we could see Broderick
are
Jones.
They disappointed in Jones? Richie, do they think he's too raw? Do they think he's not ready? What are you hearing on that?
Well, I don't think that they don't think he's not ready. It's just that Dan Moore has outperformed him so far. That's the feeling that I get right now. It's hard to take him out of the lineup.
Outperformed him?
Well,
he's been one of the worst tackles in the league.
He didn't lose his job. Are you going to throw this guy in here right now? I mean, maybe it was a mistake what you did last year with Kenny Pickett. I mean, let this guy learn a little bit. I mean, I don't mind what they're doing. I know Broderick Jones isn't going to help this offense, right? I mean, he's not the problem. I don't know if Stan Moore's the problem.
I disagree with that. I think that they need to get better. I think they need to get better blocking up front, and you're not playing your first-round pick. Okay, so to me,
well, they're not playing their second-round pick either. Joey Porter Jr. is getting a limited action back there too.
That's a problem too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think both of the early draft picks need more playing time. It's not like they're being blocked by now. Levi Wallace, good for him, 2 interceptions. He got better as that game went on. I say the same thing about Patrick Peterson, but there's room for 3 corners to play. And we did see Peterson play inside a little bit more in that Raiders game. He did take some snaps at the nickelback spot. So I want to see Porter out there when 3 wide receivers are on the field for Houston, and we'll see that a lot on Sunday.
All right, we're way overdue for a break. We got to take a break. Back in a couple of minutes.